Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chef May I Call podcast for another exhilarating week at the hospitality industry and everything in between. How you doing today, Tex?
I'm good. I'm good. How was your weekend? Or how was your week?
My week was good, busy.
Good. Yeah.
Menu flips,
Yeah.
R&D, inventories.
Yeah.
The job.
It was the end of the period for us.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
Anything good?
Uh some kooky menu items, you know what I mean? We're trying to figure out what to do for the summer of one of our properties, and it's just it's hard to figure out what the kids want now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they just everything changes, and food trends are always changing, and you got to
Yeah.
try to keep up with them. So it's difficult.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your favorite thing that you ate this week?
Well, right now I'm in the middle of a 72-hour fast, which is it is what it is. Kickstart the metabolism again. But I did have some fantastic onion rings at the 50/50. Shout out to them.
Do fasts actually work?
I mean, I think it's a good way to restart your metabolism. Your body produces a lot more healthy cells during that time frame. 72 hours might be overkill, but they say at least a minimum of 36 is a good fast. So just black coffee, black tea, and water till Thursday.
I struggle with stuff like this. My brother-in-law and my sister, they're into health and fitness and everything like that. And they got me on some supplements and things like
Sure.
that. But I told them, I was like, I'm only taking normal shit. Like
Right.
I'm not your vitamin D's, your vitamin C's, right?
Right,
I'm not taking all this other stuff. I'm weirded out by it.
right. So you don't
So-
take like ashwagandha.
No, he wants me to take ashwagandha.
It's good for you.
I sleep fine. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
there's, once in a while, everybody has like those nights where they wake up and they're
Right,
very
right.
cool. But like, he's like, oh no, you got to take this because it helps you, sleep. I mean, my sister, I'll call her and she's like, I've already taken my, what's it called? Not melatonin. What's the other one that makes you sleep?
I don't know. I don't take anything.
It starts
to
with an
sleep.
M. Anyway, she's like, I've already taken this.
Yeah.
And she's like, so I gotta go. I gotta start going to bed. And it's like this whole big like nighttime routine.
Yeah,
Like she's
yeah.
like 3 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We also have to remember the lifestyle that we have compared to a lot of other people. Like we're on our feet, a minimum of 10 hours a day. Usually eating over a trash can.
That's fair.
Usually eating something that's pretty unhealthy that we could just find on the line.
A lot of dead fries.
A lot of dead fries, a piece of cheese that you find somewhere.
It's got like that nice crust over it. You know what I mean?
It's
Maybe a little sweat.
Yeah, that usually happens a lot of the time. So that's probably why you're falling asleep on the couch, all unhealthy.
I mean, probably.
Do you drink coffee late?
Do
you cut yourself off?
I usually stop around, I don't know, like 2 or 3.
Oh no, I'll have a couple of more cups after that. Still,
No.
I'm drinking coffee till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
See, I can, and that doesn't affect me. Like I can still sleep.
Oh yeah.
But like I hear that it's like when you drink caffeine that late,
Right.
yeah, you can sleep, but you're not getting good sleep.
Well, they say the same thing about having your phone. You shouldn't look at your phone for an hour before you go to bed.
Yeah, if I did that, like I would wake up to 30 text messages
Right,
and phone
so-
calls from the restaurants.
Do you anything good this weekend?
While I was at my my wife's cousin's house, and they're white. they're white. There was a casserole of some sort over there with some.
I believe it's more appropriate to say Midwesterners.
No, dude, they're white.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like Jello molds.
Lot of. They're actually. You know what? I'm a little disappointed in. There wasn't any Jello at the house, but there was a casserole with cornflakes on it.
Right. It's because you called them out about the Jello at your wedding.
I mean, I had to.
Well, so that's why they didn't bring one this time.
No, they
forgot.
no, they do it like ironically now. Like now they do it
Oh,
like to
spite.
yeah, like they not to
Yeah.
piss me off, but they're like,
Yeah.
dude, we're gonna fuck with this guy. We're gonna
Yeah.
keep giving him this stuff.
Yeah. Did you have the casserole with cornflakes?
I did not. I have a weird thing where it's like, I look at my plate like I had a lot more greens and things like that. I'm also doing a fast right now. I'm not eating any meat for Lent.
It's not a fast.
But like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But like, you got to like balance it out. You're eating greens. You're eating,
You're
more-
having a well balanced diet.
yeah,
You're being normal.
cool,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I look at some of these things. I was like, dude, I can't
Yeah.
do it. It's not like it's bad. It's just like I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a nice meal. They actually had lamb.
Okay.
I did not really eat it. I helped cook it though.
Good. Good.
You know, butterflied it out, threw it on the grill. They're a big grilling family.
Well, yeah.
Well, they collect, like some of her family members collect Weber grills, and they like restore them and things like that. But they only cook on charcoal.
Okay.
If you show them a propane tank, they'll fucking douse you in gasoline and set you on fire. They are a strict charcoal family, and they prefer the Weber grill.
There you go.
So
Shout
we
out
grill.
to Weber Grill.
Yeah, dude. I mean, here's the thing. It does taste better. We can all agree. It's
Sure.
it's just more of a pain in the ass to kind of get it set up. But it does taste.
They
a
use
lot
the
better.
chimney.
They do use the chimney.
Yeah.
And it's a whole big kind of thing. But
Hoopla.
yeah, we grilled the lamb, and we stuffed it with garlic and rosemary and everything like that, and then rubbed it down with olive oil, salt, and pepper. Threw it on the grill, rendered out all the fat, and then just kind of, they call it the cool zone. You know, you grill it, right? And then you throw it in the cool zone and just let it kind of roast. You let it do its thing.
Yeah, for
it was
sure.
good. I did cheat a little bit. I took a little bite. You know, I had to try it. But you know,
I'm sure Jesus forgives you.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I am his namesake.
Yeah, you are.
So,
Yeah.
But so that was the other thing. So I'm with them. And like I said, they're a lot of their recipes are mayo based. And they do cook very well. I can't say that they don't.
Okay.
But they have a gadget for fucking everything.
And they're probably like one-hit wonder gadgets.
They are. And like I want to 86 this. I'm doing the 86 this week. I'm doing it. And I want to 86 the one-hit wonder gadgets or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
Because I can't take it anymore.
Sure.
I got this for my avocados. I got this to fucking scoop mayonnaise. I got this to whatever the fuck else.
Right,
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then you got a drawer, and it's like the potato masher. You got a drawer of those, and you can't fucking get
Open
your
the drawer,
you can't do it. I was like, I can't take it anymore.
Do you have any? So I do not have any. I have one of those gadgets at my house.
What?
I have the egg slicer.
Dude, don't get me started on the fucking egg slicer.
I think the egg slicer is the one that you need.
We almost didn't get married because of an egg slicer. I'm not kidding. She was like, I want to do egg salad. I'm like, all right, cool. So she wants to make egg salad. She's like, I need an egg slicer. Or where is the egg slicer?
Right.
I said, we don't have one of those. We're not that kind of family. And she goes,
Jesus.
Yeah. And she goes, what do you mean? I was like, she goes, it's an egg slicer. What do you have against an egg slicer?
Yeah.
I go, it does one job.
No, it slices strawberries.
You use it?
I don't use it for strawberries, but you can slice strawberries on it. So now it's a two-hit wonder. Strawberries and eggs.
Why are you taking her side?
I'm not taking anybody's side.
What are you doing, dude?
I just appreciate the egg slicer. But here's the thing. When I make egg salad, I don't use the egg slicer.
You just chop it up like a normal human being.
No, I just push it through a grate.
And then she's going to be like, well, why can't I just have an egg slicer? Now I got to have a fucking grate.
You don't need you have a baking. You bake, right?
Yeah.
You have a rack, do you not?
I have many racks.
So you're not adding anything else. You're just pushing the egg through the rack. Egg slicer is for slices of eggs, not to make egg salad.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can also just use a knife and cut the eggs.
You can. No one's taking that away from you. No one is saying you can or cannot do it. But I'm saying out of all the gadgets, like, don't get me started on the stainless steel crap that people say to wash your hands for garlic.
What are you talking about?
There's like this thing you can buy, and it's just a piece of stainless steel. And you're supposed to wash your hands with it under the running water, and it's supposed to remove the scent of the garlic.
Just use soap.
Correct. That's what I use. I use soap and water. Also, I'm a chef, so I'm going to smell like garlic. I'm going to smell like onions. I'm going to smell like a fryer.
I've come home plenty of times. She's like, "Did you stink? Get out of here! Don't look at me. Don't touch me." She's like, "Go take a shower."
Yeah. But there's plenty of those things. There's the thing that they have that it's like a reverse measuring cup. You know what I'm talking about? Where you like put the things in and then you like slide it up.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get in big trouble. My mother-in-law did get us one of those.
Do you use it?
I personally have never used it.
Does Jackie use it?
Jackie has used it.
Okay, then. So there you go.
You know, I don't know. It's like, I guess I could just eyeball, like I could scoop something on, be like, yeah, this is a cup, this is a pint, this is a quart.
Yeah.
You know, I just made dressing the other day at home for this to take to her cousin's house.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I need a quart of dressing. I threw everything in the Vitamix. I turned it on,
Right.
blended it, and then boom, a quart came out.
Right.
It's just you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
What do you think about the? It's an apparatus, a spoon, knife, whatever, but it's just for the avocado. So like it scores
the
and then
avocado.
it takes the seed out and it slices the avocado, but it's just for avocados.
Yeah, it's a fucking waste of space. It's
Yeah.
a waste of time.
Yeah.
And it's just late stage capitalism. That's all it is. It's just like, here we go. What else can we fucking throw in these Amazon kitchen basics or whatever that you need to buy? Those
Yeah.
stupid videos. And
Yeah,
it's like you
yeah.
don't need any of it.
You
need
don't.
a cutting board. You need a knife.
Yeah, several knives. I mean,
Yeah.
I will say I probably have like 30 knives at home.
Yeah, but like you use 3.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
use
yeah.
pretty much 3 of them.
I have a knife set at home.
Mhm.
I have my backup knife set that sits in my car,
Mhm.
and then I have like my good knives that I have at one of the restaurants.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so. Yes,
I think you just need 3 knives. You need I would say 4 knives. You need a paring knife.
yes,
You need a boning knife.
yes,
You need a chef knife.
yes.
And you need a serrated knife.
Correct.
Those are the 4 knives you need.
Yes,
But again, I have 30.
I have a Hamon Serrano knife.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're bringing the legs of Serrano ham
It's just
home?
I got it. I don't know. It was given to me. I
Right.
have it.
Do you also have a knife that you saber champagne with?
No, but maybe that's on the list.
Yeah.
I do want a tuna knife. Not that I'm gonna fucking break down a tuna, but it's like a sword.
Yeah, yeah,
You know. Back to going to knives
yeah.
because I'm over talking about these fucking
Gadgets.
because my blood pressure is rising.
Someone get him a Xanax.
When I first met my my wife, it was the super creepy thing. I don't know. We had been out for a night of drinking,
Mhm.
and she came over and we were hanging out and we were talking, and I don't know what I decided to do, but like you have 30 knives,
Right, yeah.
I also have 30 knives,
Right.
and I decided to show her all of my
Oh, for God's
knives
sake.
like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think about
It's
it.
not
to
your
this-
Pokemon cards, for God's sake.
Those are making a comeback. Those are making a comeback, and I don't know where, why, or how, but they're
but
not
here's the
hurting
thing.
anybody. So
I
cool.
mean, that's weird enough to show someone your Pokemon cards, but to just bust out like these tools that you break down whole animal, you can murder somebody.
oh,
with
I
them.
had a butcher knife that I got in Chinatown that was wrapped in like a Chinese newspaper,
Yeah, that's
like-
weird. And she stuck around.
and she stuck around. Here we are,
This
going
is-
8 years strong.
This is take a while for her then to go on a second date with you.
No, man, I think it's because we met at the restaurant
Right,
that
right.
she was kind of just
She was just used to it.
yeah. She was like, all right, whatever.
Got it.
Like he's a chef and he's trying.
A creep.
Yeah, I think
He's
she's just
trying
like,
too
he's
hard.
trying to impress me with his knife collection.
Yeah, and
Which-
she's not having it.
She was trying to act like, oh yeah, this is cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like yeah. And then she was like, dude, can you just like talk to me? You're just showing me your knives like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
So
In my house, my knives are on. Well, most of the knives are in drawers, but there is a on my what do they call it, the backsplash
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the kitchen, like right above the sink. There's like a selection of very large, small, medium knives. So like when you walk by my house, like the first thing you see is a set of knives, but
Yeah.
they're not in one of those stupid holder things.
I hate those things.
Yeah.
It's like a bacteria
Yeah,
fucking nightmare over there.
It
I don't
is.
know. I just put them up, put them in a drawer, put them on a magnet. I never
Yeah.
did the block.
I never do.
I also hate shit on my counters.
I have very little on my counter.
I live in my kitchen's fairly small, so I have more than I would like on my counter,
Right.
but there's nothing else coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
So I found my homes for everything in
Right.
my baby
I only have 2
kitchen.
pieces of equipment on my counter, and then the other half of the counter is olive oil, vinegar, salt, pepper. That's it.
Paprika.
No, paprika's in the cabinet.
Ah.
Paprika's in the cabinet.
So I wanted to get your opinion on something
Sure.
today.
Are we getting to the actual topic of the podcast?
Yeah,
today?
we're gonna
Okay.
get to it.
Okay.
I think we've touched on enough today
Yeah.
about the kitchen gadgets
And how you're a psychopath.
and apparently I'm a psychopath
Yeah.
and somehow somebody decided to marry me. But here
There
we
you
are.
go. There you go. There's
Um,
someone for everybody out there.
You know what? And there's going to be somebody for you, my friend. Don't you worry. We're gonna find the next one for you.
Perfect. God help us.
So you are a certified master bread baker.
Sure.
You went to culinary school.
I did.
Where'd you go again?
I went to the CIA
And you were a what at the CIA?
as a teaching assistant, now known as a fellow.
A fellow. So you were part of the cult.
It was I drank the Kool-Aid.
You
Yeah.
drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I did.
Was it worth it? Do you think that culinary school is worth it?
Loaded question.
Totally.
Um,
Because hopefully by the end of this, we can come up with a unified decision.
Sure.
Because it's a very, very tough question.
Sure. So backing up, when I went to the CIA, you had to apply. Like for every college, you had to apply. Right reason why you wanted to do it, but you also had to submit work credentials that you had been working in the industry for at least 6 months at that point, because they didn't want to have just people that thought they wanted to do this for a living, or they thought this was something like a hobby they were going to do. So that was the application process. Whether or not that makes a difference, I got accepted. But yeah, then you find out how much it's going to cost.
It's rough.
Right. So
It's
I graduated with my bachelor's degree, and after my scholarships and all that, and I lived on campus, I graduated with $89,000 in debt, which is a lot.
yeah, especially when you come out making 50 cents an hour.
It wasn't 50 cents, but yeah, you were not making a lot.
You weren't making a salary.
No,
right out
I
of
was
school.
going in where?
When you got out of
Excuse
me, when you got out of the Culinary Institute of America.
No, I was not
pardon
making
me.
a salary. No, I was an hourly line cook.
Yep.
But I also went to school for pastry. I did not go to school for savory.
With the weirdos.
With the weirdos, yeah. So any college that you go to, it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. I do think there are more benefits to go to culinary school if you're going for baking and pastry.
That's a new perspective.
Sure.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah. Because you go through, and again, my time at the CIA, how they have the curriculum set up now is way different. So you would do 6 weeks of academics. So you would do your math, your reading, your writing. You would have some gastronomy classes. Gastronomy is just another word for food-related classes. And then you would spend, for the next 2 years, pretty much, you would have a new baking class every 3 weeks. So I was in chocolates for 3 weeks, or I was in breads class for 3 weeks. And you go through the gambit of them all, and you have 6 bake shops. You do 1 savory class. You do your internship. You have another 6 weeks of academics. So now you're in your second year. And then you do another 6 bake shops. And then you finish out at the apple pie, which is your last 2 classes before you graduate. Now, when you're doing your bachelor's degree, that's pretty much only academics. You have 1 class that's in the kitchen after that. So you're taking your accounting, your economics, your financial management, and then that's how you get your bachelor's degree. So,
I mean, what I went through was fairly similar.
Sure.
Now that you brought it up, I did have to prove that I was in the industry too, but I just got to put on my parents' restaurant and all that. You know what I mean? And explain.
Where's that again?
Poor Boys Pub, Montgomery, Illinois.
Shout out.
You know what I mean?
I need to get down there for some soup.
My poor father.
I need to get down there for some soup. He's probably going to charge us for calling out the restaurant name.
Yeah, he is.
Probably going to get an invoice.
He would. He's going to be like, "Oh, you guys want to talk about this shit? Here you go." But he's not going to. He's not going to talk about 1986 prices. He's going to talk about 2024 pricing.
Oh, that's inflation for sure.
Is.
Oof.
I get a phone call about it at least once a week, and then he yells at me like I'm the distributors.
Yeah.
And then he wants to know why we're paying what we're paying and what he's paying what he's paying, and it's just a whole discussion.
Does he realize we're a new podcast and have no funds?
It's fine. He doesn't care.
He'll still charge us.
He's gonna say I didn't have any money, but I put you guys through school. That's what he's gonna turn around and say.
Awkward.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
There you go. So going back to your time.
But yeah,
where did you go to school?
I went to Kendall College here in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was very similar. But I did on the savory side, obviously. So we did kind of a blend of cooking classes as well as like those managerial classes. Mm-hmm. And I took 1 accounting class during like my associate's time, and I had to take your English and your foreign language and things like that.
Yeah, what language did you take?
I did Spanish.
That's what I took.
I mean, I did Spanish, and then I tested out of a lot, but then they told me I had to. I think they just wanted more money, but I'm not sure. Or I failed the test. I can't remember. They wanted me to take another Spanish class, so I did that. And
could you get just your associates?
Yeah, you could.
That's how ours was. You could then opt into the 4 year.
They also had just a certificate program,
mm-hmm.
where I think it was like 6 weeks, and you would just go through and kind of learn the basics, and then cool, like you got a certificate and you can kind of know how to do things.
Move on your merry way.
But we had a very similar, kind of thing, but it is hard getting out of it and then making the money that you're making and justifying that debt.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell people all the time, like I was very lucky. Like I had, parents that helped me through school.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I had family that helped me through school, whether it was, my uncle letting me borrow his car to take to South Carolina for my internship because I didn't have a car. Or my parents helping me out with, my apartment
Mhm.
and tuition and things like that. Yeah, I still worked. Yeah, I went to class and everything like that
Yeah.
and did what I could, but their biggest thing was to make sure that we got our degrees and we got an education.
Right.
Were your parents supportive of you going to culinary school?
Yeah. I was the first one in my family to go to college.
Oh,
So out of my mom's siblings, I was the first grandchild to go to college. So yeah, they were super supportive. I think the only thing that my mom was not supportive was me moving out of state, and that was hard for her. Like
That's fair.
I'm the youngest,
I get it.
and so I was only moving 4 hours away, but it was like as if I was moving across the world. But I think it made me better for that. I think there's a different experience you get with going to college where you move away, as opposed to going to college in the place that you live where you can go home every day. I think there's a difference. I think you learn adult skills, washing, cleaning, how to cook for yourself. Granted, I was at a culinary school, so we were fed pretty well. But you learn about all those life skills that most people don't.
No, I get it. I mean, I commuted for the first year
Right.
because my parents were like, you're not living in the dorms.
Yeah.
Specifically, my mother. She goes, you're not moving to a dorm. She goes, we're going to live with 3 other people, and I got to listen to you complain that they're dirty.
Yeah. I lived in a dorm. I lived in a dorm the entire time.
Gross.
My first dorm was a dry dorm. It was a communal bathroom. And then my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I was in a room with somebody else with a restroom in there, a bathroom.
Got it. So it was like a 1-bedroom apartment almost, or a 2-bedroom apartment?
No, it was one big room.
Oh.
Both beds were in there. And then the bathroom was off to the side. So you see the person the entire time. Like your bed is across the room from their bed.
See, like I've done that once, and I was just like, this ain't my jam. Like I just need to be.
I also wasn't in my room a lot. I worked. I went to school full time. There was so much to do there. Again, it goes back to you get out of it what you put into it. So I was in the library. I would go to the gym. They had a racquetball court. I was a part of Skills USA, which is a competition. I was a part of Eta Sigma Delta, which was the National Honor Society. I kept myself busy.
Wait, hold on. You were in a frat?
I was not in a frat. Not a frat.
What is that?
Eta Sigma Delta is just like the National Honor Society for college.
Oh.
No, I was not in a frat. I was about to make fun
We
didn't have fraternities or sororities, any of that. That was not part of it. And that's the one thing that I will say that I missed about college experience is I didn't get that. I also didn't get, like, back then we weren't a big, like, sports college, right? No one's playing in the Big Ten. No one's, in March Madness. So I never got that experience of going to a football game. We had a soccer field, and that was it.
I mean, yeah, we didn't have the most athletic crowd of people that we were fucking going to school with. I mean, we could just...
You mean culinary students in general?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
that's fair.
Let's be real.
We were professional drinkers.
Professional drinkers, professional eaters.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
Yeah.
I had friends that were in frats.
Okay.
And they would come to parties.
Right.
That we would have like Kendall. We would call them like the Kendall parties, right?
Right.
And they were in awe. They're like, dude, like, my cousin Zach would like go to school. He went to school at Bradley, right? Cornfields, frats. If you weren't in a frat, you were a loser.
Yeah.
And they would come to these parties and just be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Because they were just in awe at how much people were drinking, number one, and the shit that was going on. I mean,
there wasn't crazy shit going on in my college. I mean, define crazy shit.
I mean, I walked into a party one time, and it was just... Actually, I can't even say that. I'm not going to even say it.
No, now you got everyone wondering what was going on.
No, I can't say it. I can't say it. It would be bad.
Christ.
It would be really... No, I can't say it.
I mean, there was a lot of drinking. There was drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's every college.
Some people are going to get pinched if I say anything.
Okay, we won't say.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, like I walked in and there were just like people like naked, like running around, like you know what I mean? Like it was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Okay, that's a little extreme. Were they on something?
Saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was very young at the time. That was like the
Don't
first...
play innocent card.
That was no. Here's the thing. I know I can make jokes about stuff, but
Yeah.
like I've never done blow. one
No,
of
neither
the few
have I.
chefs, right?
Yeah,
And I can't even smoke pot. It's just not my jam.
sure,
It's just like, you know what I mean?
sure.
Give me a Cristo special,
Of course, yeah.
right?
You goddamn
And a
fucking
good
bougie
time,
ass
and we're, you
specials.
know what I mean? And we're good
You
to
were.
go.
I highly doubt you were drinking elderflower gin and tonics with shot of bitters when you were in college.
No, we were drinking Skull and Squirt.
Yeah, we were. We were drinking out of fucking plastic jugs.
Really?
Yeah,
See, we didn't do that. We drank the plastic vodka bottle because my buddy Mitch like could only drink vodka.
sure.
But
But it came
then-
out of a plastic jug.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was
okay.
like $14.
Exactly. So the plastic bottles. So
You know,
that's all we could afford.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like culinary school for me was, I ultimately think it is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, bringing it's what you put into it, right?
Sure, sure.
It's for me. I did a lot of networking in school.
Mm-hmm.
I rubbed elbows with some of the chefs in the city.
Mhm.
I did events for them. I staged at their restaurants and things like that. So when
Mhm.
I got out of school, I had already made those connections. So it
Sure.
was really easy for me to get a job.
Yeah.
And I think that's what one of the biggest things was. Like I built a network that I still use today,
Sure.
right? So getting out of school, and I found a job a week out of school because
Mhm.
I was, already getting things going.
Mhm.
And then I didn't start for about a month because I said I want to just kind of like take a break.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just be in college because it was so busy.
Yeah.
Right. I wanted to have like a month of college. So I went out every single night. I slept in, didn't set alarms, ate like shit, like didn't really take care of myself for like
Were you
a
living
month.
at home at this point?
No. I was living with
Because Mama Vlahos would not have allowed that.
no, dude. If I go over there, she still will leave us a list of shit that she wants done around the house if I stay the night. And she has our names on it like when we were kids,
Mhm.
right? Mine is always still the biggest. And then, my older brother George, it's like, oh, empty the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's 37 years old. He's still got chores to do at home.
It's funny. I don't go home very often because I live in Chicago, but my family lives in Boston. I get like treated like royalty out there. Like I stay with my mother's home. Wake up. She's went out and got fresh bread. We have it with coffee. She'll knock on the door. I'll have a coffee. She will not let me not do. She has to do the laundry before I leave. I can't bring dirty clothes home with me. She cooks my favorite thing, so I don't have a chore list when I go home. But I also don't see my mother very often.
See, that's the difference.
Yeah.
3630, hop, skip, and a jump away. You go over there and they're like, my mom's like, oh, good, you're here. I need you to do this, 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 and this.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, bro, what's going on? But that was living at home.
I will say though, the other thing that I got to do, you call it a cult, but I was a teaching assistant, a fellow.
Use the fucking correct terminology.
I was a TA. I was a teaching assistant. I graduated with a teaching assistant certificate.
Wait, you got a certificate?
Yeah, because it was a year commitment that you were going to be on campus teaching a class or assisting teaching a class.
Got it.
Don't be making faces for those that
Just
can't
saying.
see. And so I got to be able to, the chef that I worked with was amazing. I learned so much from him, big mentor of mine. But I got exposed to a lot more things that you're not exposed to as a student. All right, you're managing a staff, and not staff. There's students. You're managing a class. We were producing for the public. So
we did the same. Like we had different classes that you would produce for the public,
Yeah.
or you were producing for the school.
yeah, I mean, so in the grand scheme of things, yes, the networking. You could always go down to New York, was a train ride away, which is about 2 hours. But the CIA obviously is a world-renowned school, and that's not. You can roll your eyes all you want, but Ferran Adria would come in. Thomas Keller, Charlie Palmer, Grant Achatz. They held the Bocuse d'Or tryouts there. One year I was there. So there was a lot to do. And if you were engaged and you weren't just, drinking your life away on the weekends and not exposing yourself to that, then I don't think you got the full benefit of being at the school. However, if you took the time to, involve yourself in activities or be there, and they were all for free, all those things you did for free, then I think you got a lot more out of it.
Dude, I remember the first time that I said I was gonna like work for free.
Mhm.
My dad lost his mind. Where I was like,
But didn't you work for free for him?
I mean, technically, yes, but then you look at all the other things,
Sure,
and
sure. He had a roof over your
I
head.
feel like he would highly disagree with that statement, and I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm not touching it,
Sure.
but I'm sure that when you go and try his soup, he'll make sure it's nice and hot, and he throws it in your fucking face.
I can't wait to get him on the podcast episode. I'm going to ask him that. He might just get up and leave.
He might. He's gonna ask if he can smoke cigarettes during it.
That's fine. Whatever.
But I think that like with culinary school, like the biggest thing is like, yes, do you need? I want to wrap this up because we can go around in circles, and I want to kind of have an answer after this.
Sure.
I think it's worth it.
Sure.
We can agree that it's worth it.
It is worth it as long as you put forth the effort.
Correct. But I think the biggest thing is you're learning in a controlled environment
Yeah.
with the correct equipment,
Correct.
and you're learning how to make a sauce the correct way.
Right. You're not learning the real way. You're not learning the real world way, I would say that.
100%.
Because you can, which I still don't understand. This is the part that I struggled when I was a TA, is that people can burn things and people can fuck things up. And yes, while you're there to learn, you just get a bad grade for the day, right? You get a B or you get a C. But in the real world, I remember the first time I fucked something up, I was getting yelled at.
What'd you fuck up?
Oh, for God's sake, what didn't I? I probably burned something. If I remember, I probably put chocolate in the microwave and it burned.
Noob.
And that stinks. For those that have done that, you put chocolate in the microwave, it just stinks. But I remember the first time I burned a batch of baguettes, and we needed them for service. So that's the one disconnect I think there is with school. And I think now specifically, I do hear from people that are in academia of culinary school. They teach.
Where do they usually teach at, the people that you're talking to?
I cannot say. They teach at multiple colleges. I want to be able to be invited back to my alma mater to give a graduation speech one day.
Here's the thing. I'm not knocking the CIA. It's a very good school. Don't get me wrong. But it's kind of a cult.
It's not a cult.
I'm just saying.
I don't think it's a cult. Anyway. And you don't get, I don't think they are as hard on students as I was people were hard on me.
Yeah.
And I think that made me a better person.
I had a chef launch a hotel pan across the kitchen one time.
We never got that. No one ever got we never got physical, or there was never a verbal. There was none of that. It was more so like being held accountable.
Can't relate.
Well, it's because you went to fucking school in goddamn Chicago. You probably
Damn
didn't get
right.
shot at.
Damn right. No, we got treated. All right. On a daily basis,
Yeah.
we got fucking treated.
Oh.
I'm going to bring back treated. I just decided.
There you go.
I'm going to bring it back.
But yeah, I think it is a commitment that you have to take seriously, that if you're going to do it, you're going to spend a lot of money. You're going to make no money when you get out of college. And I think you may not make money for 10, 15 years, like good money.
No.
And even then, you may not be cooking full time to make that good money, right? Like I don't cook full time, right? You don't cook full time.
Nope.
But we're in upper management of a restaurant group, which allows us to make a good living. But then we had to give up something else, right? You had to give up the on the line every day. So that's the one flip side. There's multiple paths that you can take after you graduate a culinary school, especially with a bachelor's degree. You can go into food science, you can go into teaching, you can go into working in a kitchen, you can go into hotels. So there's a vast amount that you can do. I will say though, one advice I would give to anybody that is going into college is that get your general education courses done at a community college. Some colleges will take those as credits, so just check that. But I think that's important. Get all of that shit out of the way. Go to community college, get all of your basics done.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a restaurant one time, and I was with my wife, and this was, I think, last year or so. Anyway, it's a very well-known restaurant in the city of Chicago, and we sat at the counter, and there was one cook there and one server. And it was so refreshing to hear about like the server's take on hospitality school and culinary school and all that. Because he was, I believe, from Singapore, and he was studying here, doing like a 6-month internship in the United States. And he just had such passion and such grace with the service and everything that he was doing that day. Right. It was refreshing, and he talked about how much he enjoyed it and how much he really wants to do a good job and really thrive in this industry. And then the cook that was there was this 19-year-old kid, and he was coming from the suburbs, and we kind of got to talking, and he just goes, I don't know if I want to go to culinary school. He's like, I'm already working for one of the top restaurant groups in the city of Chicago,
Mhm.
and it's known around the world.
Right.
He's like, so why would I go spend all this money?
Yeah.
And I said, that's fair. And I think about him from time to time because I didn't have a great answer to give him. And I said, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed culinary school and all this.
Mhm.
I go, but it is really expensive. I
Mhm.
give you that. And it is what you make it. But,
Right.
I think about it from time to time. Like, did he ever
Go. I think you can go through working in the hospitality industry and get to the end goal. It might take you a little bit longer. I think, again, going back to the idea of pastry versus savory, I think there's a lot more you can learn on the job as a savory individual, right? You're making sauces, you're learning all the cooking methods. I think going to school for baking and pastry is more of a necessity just because you're getting exposed to everything that you may or may not use, right? A lot of people don't bake their own bread at their restaurants. They buy it, right? Because of labor's thing, but they know how to make it. And so again, depending on the path you want to go, I think there is 100% no issue going through culinary school or doing it the old-fashioned way where you're staging and you're going from restaurants to restaurants and you're learning. I think as long as you're learning in whatever environment you're learning in, I think stick with that.
And there it is.
So
I think
that would be my advice.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
So we like culinary school.
Right.
It is what you make it.
Right.
But if you don't learn well in school, but
Right.
you're kind of saying,
Right.
go and stage and
I would say any advice I would give to somebody that's 18, 19 is work in the industry for 2-3 years. The culinary school is still going to be there, right? You're not behind the ball if you start culinary school at 23 or 24. You're not behind the ball at all. But get that idea of what it's going to be like, because again, a lot of the people that I went to college with, I went to college right after high school, so 18, 19. And those people are not in the industry anymore. It got to be too hard, or they wanted to change the life, or X, Y, and Z, whatever the reasons are. I'm one of very few people that are still in the industry. So I think get that out of the way and truly understand that, the holidays are irrelevant. No one gives a fuck about your birthday. You're there in service of others. And so that needs to be your main priority. And that needs to be something that you understand for the rest of your career.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, a CIA grad with his advice about culinary school.
There you go. Yeah. Hopefully they'll still let me. One day I would like to speak at the CIA as a graduation speaker.
You know what? I should speak.
At my college?
I should.
Usually they only allow like either alumni or people that have made it.
I think I fucking made it. I think I'm doing all right. What are you trying to say?
I mean, like a Thomas Keller has made it.
Okay. Sorry. I'm not Thomas Keller.
You know.
Sorry you're not doing a podcast with Thomas Keller.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be great, wouldn't it?
I'm sure you're the someone that you would want to have instead of me.
No, you're the only one for me.
Oh, now this is awkward. Now I feel like an ass.
Oh,
All
God.
right. So do you feel like that was a good?
I think that was a good explanation. We hopped around a little bit.
Yeah.
Our brains kind of don't function like normal brains, but
Right.
I think that we kind of came up with a nice kind of discussion, and hopefully anybody who's considering going to culinary school or
Yeah.
going into the hospitality industry, just go and try it out first. And if
for
you
sure.
actually like it and it's something you want to do, then yeah, go to school. Two great schools, CIA, obviously, world renowned.
World renowned. It's called actually the world's premier culinary college.
Okay, enough.
That's the tagline.
Enough. Let's get some. I'm over the CIA for today.
Maybe they'll get some sponsorship for us.
They're not going to sponsor us.
Probably not, but
They're definitely not.
shout out
sponsor us.
CIA.
If you had another cult follower on this side of this on this side of the microphone, then maybe
Maybe, yeah.
But I think we just got a couple more things. I want to get a question from the Toke.
Oh,
I want to lighten up the mood
lighten
a
up the
little
mood. I
bit.
guess I got the question this week.
Maybe it's not going to be light. I actually don't.
We don't know what they are.
We don't know what the questions are.
All right, let's see what we got here. Put this one down. All right, let's see what we got. All right. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one for
today?
Yeah.
All right.
The most hurtful thing someone has said about your food. And if you're going to be into the hospitality industry and as a chef, get used to that.
Get ready.
Strap in,
And
as you would say.
And it's what hurts the most? When it's some fucking food critic or some asshole online that has zero fucking clue about what's going on and they have an opinion about
I
it.
thought you were going to say what hurts the most is when your family hates your food.
No, because it's at least your family. Like, you get over it. But when you got some fucking dickhead online
Yeah,
that like bashes your food
sure.
or bashes the restaurant, you're like, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you got a fucking marketing degree.
So what was the most hurtful thing someone's ever said?
Oh,
This didn't happen. I have one. This didn't happen to me.
You go.
But I witnessed it. It wasn't about something that I cooked.
Because God forbid you all your shit's perfect.
No, I'm not saying that. But it was the most hurtful thing that I think one could do. Is that this person was eating some soup, and I remember the soup. It was a sausage and corn poblano chowder. Was one of my favorite soups. Is one of my favorite soups. And they took a bite, and immediately threw it up in the trash can in front of the person that cooked.
Stop, dude.
And I was like, I don't think there's anything more insulting, embarrassing, hurtful than someone eating something that I just made, and then in front of me throwing it up.
Oh.
Like, that's rough. That's like you question whether or not I should have been in culinary school.
Yeah, I mean, I got bashed one time online over something. Like, this is where I come, like, the anger comes from some fucking dickhead with a marketing degree.
I feel like you have trauma over this.
It's, you know what, I was just like, I was young and I was stupid.
Yeah.
And they kind of like bashed the restaurant that I had just opened and everything like that. And I think that was the biggest thing. I've never really gotten.
I'm not going to mention the restaurant, but I know which restaurant.
You know what restaurant?
I know what restaurant.
And we got knocked, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. I have no idea what I'm doing either. I was like, I'm 22 years old, and I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think that was it. But like they bashed a Oh, you're gonna love this one. They bashed.
Was it passion fruit?
It wasn't passion fruit. Sorry. It was a cod dish that I did. And
Salted?
It was salted. They
Shout out.
bashed it and they were like, it's salty. I'm like, what the fuck? It's in the name, dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we rinsed it and you
Mhm.
soak it and you
Mhm.
go through the whole fucking process.
Mhm.
It's 3 days long to make these
Yeah.
little fucking
Yeah.
croquettes. And
Yeah.
we just got dragged by
Yeah.
some asshole. And I was like, dude, get bent.
Can I share with you that I think that pastry chefs have less of that going on because I think that most
Because
people.
you guys are perfect.
No. Some would say. I think that people just genuinely like desserts and they like bread. So there isn't that like, yes, you can tear a dish apart, and my dishes have been torn apart for sure. But in the grand scheme of things, did it all work? Was it chocolatey enough, or was it like? So it's like it's not like, did you cook my steak correctly? Is the sauce broken? Are the things salted enough? You know, so I think there's a little bit more of a forgiveness when it comes to a pastry chef. So not to say that one is better than the other. Shout out to my pastry chefs out there and bread bakers. But I think there is a little bit more forgiveness on the critic side, because I've been a part of restaurants where everything was great for both sides, and I've been a part of restaurants where the critique was the savory food was bad and the pastries were good. And whether or not I thought that was valid, you know, it's not my opinion, but I think we sometimes get a little bit of a pass.
You're just so insightful today. I'm so proud of you.
I did a little bit. I'm a little cultured now. I've been doing a lot of reading lately.
Look at you.
I know.
I'm so proud of you. You're forming young minds. You're coming up with, you know, nice things that, like, just like a button up an issue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You're doing a really good job.
I think as we go along with this, we'll
I'm just
get a little
really
better.
proud of you.
I know,
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Oh
Boy,
God.
if that wasn't fucking condescending, I don't know what was.
You know, here we are. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it today. I think we're calling it.
We're calling it? All
enough
right.
about the pastry fucking chefs and the bread bakers. Oh my God, we're the best. This is
hard being perfect.
Oh, fucking excuse me. That's it, guys. This is the Chef May I Call podcast. We're figuring it out.
Yeah. You want me to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you do it this week.
All right. So you can find us on Instagram at Chef May I Call. You can find us on TikTok at Chef May I Call Podcast. You can email us at chefmaycallpodcast@gmail.com. Anyone that's thinking about culinary school, feel free to shout us out. We're always willing to help anybody. Not pay for it, but we'll just give you some advice.
You're still paying for ours.
No, I finished mine, thank God. And then if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And click the subscribe button below. But I think that wraps it up for this week.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.